All right, I think we can take you back to Charles Mabaso of the Tshwane Emergency Services for that update on the flooding in the area. Mr. Mabaso, I hope you can hear me. Just once more, tell me what's happening, particularly in Nelmapius and in Centurion as well. My colleague Linda Kulu is in Centurion, and he showed us some horrific images coming out of there.
Yeah, thank you. I hope that the interference will be minimal. So far, the Centurion area, like I was saying earlier, we haven't had an incident where there is a loss of life. But I can tell you that since last night, we have responded to about 15 incidents where motorists were trapped in the water, in low-lying water bridges, though none of the motorists got injured or maybe lost their life as a result. But we have managed to rescue several of them that were trapped in the waters. And we continue to make a repeated call to motorists to avoid these areas around Nelmapius, as well as Centurion area, going into the Yevelwoord area, along the area of the Henops River, and as well as the R101 Verdebrecht area. Those areas are prone to flooding, as you can recall that they are in the area where we have the Centurion Lake, as well as the Henops River flowing in the local area.
That was going to be my next question to you, in fact, Mr. Mabaso, particularly the Centurion Lake next to the Centurion Mall. We've seen quite a lot of fatalities there before. Are you speaking to, for instance, your counterparts in the Tshwane Metro or other levels of the EMS, maybe to close off those areas so motorists don't get tempted to go through those areas?
Yes, that's correct. So far, our disaster management center has been activated at the level 3 with all stakeholders within the Tshwane Emergency Services, within the city of Tshwane, from utility services to the Metro Police and other services within the city have been activated to the disaster center to coordinate this flooding that we are having. In parts of Mamelodi, Metropolis are ensuring that the low water bridges as well as the other bridges are closed. And in the Centurion area, we not only have the Metropolis, we have the Centurion committee that deals with flooding in that area. And they have been very active since the day before yesterday, and as well as ensuring that the roads are closed. But we have situation where you find that with these low water bridges, you have got gates that are locked once we see that there is flooding and there is risk of vehicles being swept off. But you find that there are motorists, if the gates are locked and unmanned at a particular time, maybe because the people are busy conducting an assessment of the other areas, then you find that now these people then open the gate to try to cross. This is something that we would like to discourage from our motorists, and we are pleading with motorists that if they've got nowhere to go, the best thing to do at the moment is to remain at home if there is nothing urgent that one can attend to, because such a situation requires that residents also bring their part in ensuring that their lives are safe, so that now other services can then focus on the issues related to infrastructure, because those are the issues that the service departments can then focus on. But when there are lives involved, it becomes complicated, because then we have to ensure that we respond to rescue those lives. So we definitely plead with residents to remain at home, or, it is known, and we have shared this information prior to the rain, as well as the known areas that are prone to flooding. So if a motorist doesn't avoid that, they are making it difficult for us to focus on areas where we can ensure that there is a response in terms of infrastructure.
And I can see, Mr. Mabaso, that you are obviously at the EMS offices or at the fire station somewhere in the city of Tshwane. So I'm assuming that emergency services are on high alert. Just very quickly with your answer this time, sir, let me know if there are other areas. I saw some videos coming out of Montana as well. Tell me about other areas. You've told us about cars being swept away. Any homes being swept away?
So far, there has not been homes that have been swept away, but obviously, if there are issues of drainage and as well as flow of water due to flash floods, you get homes that gets flooded where they are. Maybe the house is filled with water inside the yard. We have only had those incidents, but no lives at risk. Yesterday, around the Colbin area, we have had a number of trees falling due to lightning, and there was no heavy winds, but there was lightning. So we suspect that some of the trees could have been hit by lightning, and only one house was affected where a tree fell on a wall and damaged part of the house. It's in the Colbin area. The Montana area, as well as the Sinoville area, there's been few houses that reported flooding, but the water subsided after it was given leeway by ensuring that their walls are open. Okay. And then the area of concern so far is Mamelodi, where we are having the Easter Fabric informal settlement flooded in a way that it was almost flooded in 2019. But our disaster management teams are on the ground trying to facilitate evacuation and other matters related to social relief.